What do you have to say? I ain't got shit to say. I'm the king of burn. How about you?
I'll find my mum if she can make weight.
Who's fucking next?
Eternal MMA Uncensored.
Come on, get this fucking show on the road.
It is. We're fucking rolling. This is it.
Are we live now?
Yeah. This is the peak of it. Yeah. Episode 4 of Emma Uncensored is, yeah.
What have I told you about Emma Uncensored? Eternal MMA Uncensored podcast. Sorry about my co-host.
Yes. Obviously, find us on YouTube if you're on iTunes. If you're not on iTunes, or if you're on YouTube, go find us on iTunes.
That never makes sense. I have a problem with the way you say that.
Oh, why?
Find us on YouTube if you're not on if you're on iTunes. But why? What the fuck does that mean?
You might want to see our faces, or it's
Just
called
say
cross branding.
It's available on YouTube, or you can get it on iTunes.
They already fucking have it. If it's your way of thinking about it, they're already on it. Why are they getting it?
It's available.
You want them on the other one?
Listen, I'm gonna keep it simple, right? I'm here for the people that get punched in the head for a living. You fucking Nancy entertainment people wouldn't understand.
I've been punched in the head plenty.
Yes, and it's about to be fucking one more.
Yeah.
So, YouTube, if you want to watch us, iTunes, if you want to listen to us, both if you're a fucking gangster.
Yeah, just have it both on. Obviously, we've got some big fights coming up. Mainly I send them to YouTube, though, because any fighter we talk about, their fights are up there. So if you want to go watch them, we're talking to some of these guys, jump on the YouTube, look at their fights, that's what I do.
Did you call it YouTube?
Did YouTube? Yeah.
Let's not go there, man. We can open a whole can of worms.
Well, we can do that, because it's Emma Uncensored. And it's...
We're going around in fucking circles.
Nah, I love it. Alright, big weekend coming up, August 6th, Mansfield Tavern. You're not going over.
Let's go August 5th.
August 5th.
Tavern.
What's happening August 6th?
It's Sunday. Everyone's going home.
That's it. I'm doing something else. You know what I think it is? Because every time I read a UFC card, and whatever their date is, I always do the, yeah.
We're not talking about UFC, mate.
No, we're not. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not going over.
Why?
It's, well, let's get to it later on. We've got guests to talk to first.
Oh, great hook. Great hook.
I don't want to spoil the mood before we start.
We got two great guests coming up. I noticed the last couple of podcasts I didn't do this. We just had the guests. I didn't fucking intro them at all.
They didn't need introductions. Men like them need no introduction. Yeah. As do all our guests, but yeah, it's very professional to introduce.
Yeah, they were pretty cool. But we have two guests. Brentin Mumford, who last Eternal spinning kicked someone's head off. Greg Atzori, I think it was. Great fighter. Yeah. Caught him with a pretty amazing kick. I thought that'd be more viral. I thought that'd go more like, that was a really good one.
I have watched it many times on YouTube, but I haven't looked at the numbers.
Yeah, definitely check it out. If you're going to check out one fight, at least just check out that one. And then we've got Jake Anderson, who I don't know much about, but I think I like him.
No one knows much about Jake Anderson because he's not worth knowing much about.
I like him already because I have to add these people on Facebook and like to link up the audio chats. And straight away, he was just like, always great to meet a new fan.
No, he's funny, but, you know, he's a legend in his own lunchtime.
Is he a commentator?
He commentates for Eternal, yes.
You treat your employees poorly. I'm just going to say.
What do you mean?
You never talk us up. You always talk us down.
It's backhanded compliments. I feel if I can insult you, we're friends. If I have to be polite to you, that means we're not friends.
You fucking must be friends with a lot of people then.
Yeah.
Because
so my default setting is to be rude and smart ass to people.
You were that kid in school that like pushed the girl over, the one that you liked.
I went to school. You're assuming a lot.
You had to start. Alright, so you want to give Brentin a call? Should we do that?
Yeah, let's get Brentin on the phone. He's got prior engagement, so...
He's getting a tattoo. Give the people a little bit of a rundown about Brentin while I sort this shit out.
So Brentin's a mainstay in Australian MMA. He's coming off 2 massive wins in his last 2 fights, which has put him in contention for the lightweight title. He stone cold knocked out Ben Wall, who is obviously most of you will know from... Tough, yeah. Was that the Smashes season? With Ross Pearson and George Soteropoulos as the coaches. So that was a massive win and a very emphatic win, sort of less than a minute into the first round. We'll talk to him about that. And then his last KO victory over Greg at Zori, who again is another sort of Australian MMA stalwart guy that's been around forever. You know, never an easy task for anybody. And yeah, that spinning heel kick knockout again. You know, a couple of minutes into the first round. Brenton's on a tear. His fight before that, he lost the decision to Kieran Joblin, who's, you know, one of the sort of most talked about lightweights in Australia and New Zealand. So Kieran's going places as well. So, you know, to go to a decision and, you know, be unlucky not to get the nod in that. And then before that, he fought Sam Kitchener and again had another knockout win. So Brenton is basically knocking people out at the moment. That's what he's doing. He's not messing around. He's not getting paid for overtime. He's putting people away, and that's what the fans want to see. So yeah, that's Brentin Mumford.
Right, you recall now. Yeah, a lot of fighters have been doing that. Like, it's almost like when they're ready, they knock everyone out. That's how you know. It's not even like who they're beating. It's like, it's almost like they're getting bored being in the cage. Like, give me more talent. He'll be here. Come on.
This is the beauty of live reporting. It can all go horribly wrong. Oh.
Hello?
Hey, Brenton, how are ya?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Obviously here with Ben on the Eternal MMA podcast. You can say whatever you want. Are you getting a tattoo at the moment?
Yeah, I am. I can hear it.
I can hear the buzzing in the back. I hate that noise.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Brings back hours and hours of bad memories for me.
I can't actually really hear you, man. It's breaking up heaps.
Oh no, it's MMA clinic shitty Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Right. Well, I've got good reception here, but yeah.
Alright, how about now?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
He leant into the computer then.
Brendan, obviously, great last fight. How were you feeling after that? Obviously, you talked, saw the post-fight. We talked to one of your coaches / training partners that said that you called that spinning kick. How did you feel about obviously having such a great last fight?
No, it was good, eh? Yeah, just someone, one of my mates in the crowd at the table asked me how I was going to win. And I called it, and he was kind of laughed it off like a joke. But the only reason I called it was because, you know, I watched a little bit of video with my coaches on Greg, and because he's so rangy and he ducks his head to that side, and obviously that's, you know, I just allowed him to step that side, so we just drilled it over and over again, that when he steps to his right, I let him go and I spin. And yeah, as you've seen, it worked.
I just want to make it clear to everybody that I was backstage watching you warm up whilst I was warming Jack up, and that kick was repeatedly practiced. So anyone that's out there saying, "Oh, that was a fluke," blah 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 blah. I saw it with my own eyes being drilled backstage. So to see it come off in the fight was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I have my coach, my striking coach, or one of the guys that helps me, Richard Walsh. He said a funny quote after that. He said, "It's funny. The more I practice, the luckier I get."
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. And for me, like, people say about lucky punches and this and that, but if you aim to punch someone in the head and punch them in the head, or you aim to kick something, there's nothing lucky about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's your intent, was to go out there and land that shot. So I don't understand this lucky punch thing. So yeah, what a way to win the fight, and I believe we're allowed to announce your next fight. So do you want to tell everyone who you're going to fight next?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it's been released yet, but...
no, we're releasing it right now.
Everyone would know that I'm fighting Callum Potter for the lightweight title.
Ooh,
that is a fight I cannot wait to fucking see.
Should be good.
Yeah, that's that. You've obviously been wanting to match up with Callum for a little while now, but where do you see that you're going to best Callum?
What's that, sorry?
Where do you think that you kind of stand out above Callum in this fight?
I think, I don't know. I don't know. Just he's got some strength, I've got some strength, and we'll just see who it's going to come down to a game plan more than I think more than the skill set. It's going to be more of a game plan.
For me, it's a great fight in that it's two guys that are on the radar of the bigger shows, not afraid to go out there and do it. You know, that you guys obviously want to fight each other because you want to fight the best people. And that's refreshing because a lot of people these days are ducking fights they think might derail their bid at getting to the big show. So props to you for that.
Yeah, I've always said, like for myself, that, you know, if I do make it, you know, say the UFC, which is the ultimate goal, if I do make it into the UFC, I want to know that I've fought the toughest guys. I don't want to make it there and then just get murked as soon as I step into the octagon, into the cage, you know, by these guys that are that much better. I want to know that I've earned that spot and I've fought the top guys in Australia and did good against them, you know. Like if I don't, you know, if I'm not beating the best guys, then I don't deserve to go to the biggest shows, and I understand that. So you go back to the drawing board and you keep training and keep learning and you can turn that around.
Mate, that is super refreshing, and I say it to the lads in the gym as well. Is that, like you said, you don't want to get to the UFC, have 2 fights, and be gone from there forever, and have your T-shirt but nothing else. You want to get to the UFC and win. You know, you're not going there to get a T-shirt. You're going there to prove yourself amongst the best in the world, and you ain't gonna do that having fought 11 fucking nobodies. So yeah, that's a great attitude. And changing the subject, what tattoo are you getting?
What's that, sorry?
What tattoo are you getting right now? I can hear it buzzing away in the background.
Yeah, I just got my leg done. Just getting a leg sleeve, I guess you call it. A sleeve for a leg pant leg. I don't know.
No, we'll go with leg sleeve. I can.
Just getting a samurai and a dragon and a few different things, some Japanese stuff.
A long sit today or what?
I think it'll be a fair while, yeah.
Shit.
Tattoos.
Booked in, I think, for 5 or 6, I think, Josh, 5 or 6. Yeah, 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, mate.
Does it take you away from your training? Like getting so many tattoos and stuff like that, or do you just not faze you?
No, I do it in times where I don't have to worry, and I just adjust my training. Like at the moment now, I can still hit pads and still drill and do everything else. Once I get the shading done, I just make sure no one's swinging off my leg.
Yeah, I think the way I've come to terms with it is I give it a couple of days and then I just get back to normal, cream it up, wrap it up, and off we go.
Well, you have to. I think whatever the microphone you talk to on your side, I can't hear when you're talking into it. It kind of breaks up and goes all blurry.
Yeah, Ben's cheap and he buys cheap crap.
Yeah, I was going to blame it on his accent, but
I speak the Queen's Cockney. So talk us through your fight shorts for your last fight. They were pretty groovy. How did that come about?
The shorts?
Yeah.
That's just they're from my sponsor, Engage Industries. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook. They got heaps of cool gear. Sponsored some the big name guys, like you guys all would have seen Israel Adesanya just walk through Melbourne Gallard there last week.
Yeah.
He's sponsored by him, Brad Riddell, heap of guys. There's a fair few Aussie guys that are repping the brand now as well, which is quite cool.
Yeah, he stands out from the rest with his design, that's for sure.
Yeah, like you've seen those line shorts that he has, and yeah, there's like every fight show I've been to recently, there's like 2 or 3 guys that are wearing some Engage clothing. So and it's Australian-based company, so buy Engage, support the local lads, and keep it here in Australia rather than buying from those big companies overseas.
Yeah, I've had a few conversations with Ash in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, he's a top dude who's really getting behind sort of local talent, and
yeah, man, he's a good dude.
I can't recommend his gear enough. It's high quality and it looks the business. All right, well we'll leave you to get back to having your legs savaged. But congratulations on the title shot. Congratulations on your last couple of wins, mate, and I look forward to.
Wicked. If we'll organise when I'm not getting tattooed, we'll be able to do a proper one.
Yeah, that's it. We'll have a chat to you in the lead up to the
Sort your microphones out too so I can hear you.
It's Mitch's computer. Mitch's computer is fucking terrible.
They don't pay me enough, so that's what we're stuck with.
I don't know about that.
Oh, mate, come on. All right, mate.
On the big bucks over there on that side of the country, eh?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. They save it for all the Queensland guys.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Well, you take care of yourself. We'll speak to you very soon.
All right then, guys. Have a good one. Thanks
Take
for
care,
that.
mate. Catch ya.
All right, bye.
See what I did there? I was dynamic. I came around the table, sorted the problem out.
Yeah, it was good. I think I fucked up something.
No problem. No, I think it's just the microphone's on your computer. We'll get there in the end.
It wasn't last time I came to you. Man, I've had this problem all the time. I used to plug, when we were at uni radio, I used to plug had like an aux cord, and I'd plug it in, my phone to the radio thing, and I would talk into the microphone thinking, like, for some reason the mic would go to them, and it fucking doesn't. It's just like a phone. I'm fucking retarded.
You're our tech guy.
Mate,
We're bang in trouble.
I literally have no idea what I'm doing, like, in life. At all. Like, I don't even know how to ring announce. Like, and you guys just really like, don't. Oh, fucking do
How
that.
did you get that fucking gig?
Well, the barrel that you got to scrape from, there's no one else willing to do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, it's pretty fucking intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Like, because if you fuck up, like, dude, you're about to fight. Like, you don't want to stumble on their name. And they're just about to go to war. You don't want to fucking be like, ugh, say the wrong name.
Do you know what? I think a lot of the time, the crowd's so into it, and the fighters are so into it that they wouldn't notice a small mistake. I notice in the corner a lot of mistakes that MCs make. All of them. Like sometimes
I
I'm
wouldn't have
standing in
seen
the corner.
one I've done yet. I haven't done a fucking single.
You haven't done enough. That's why, mate. You're fucking still green.
Nah.
You haven't got enough hours logged in to call yourself a proper announcer. You're still a trainee.
Although, what I have to realise now is the more undercard, I have to say the fighters' names, not fuck. Because I was giving main event treatment to everyone on the card, which I'd love to do, but the fucking my voice by the end of it.
Main event treatment.
Man, by the end I was like, Mitch Martin!
Like someone's got a fucking clothes peg on your board.
Yeah, so that's killer. I can't do it all. I mean, Michael Buffer, he only does like 3 fights.
You are, to mention your name in the same sentence as Michael Buffer.
You're right, Michael Buffer.
Fucking my arms just aren't long enough.
Could not stand
to discipline you.
I do everything. Some people just ring announce. I ring announce and fucking post-fight interview. See? Hex, I got Perry Cale, and I got fucking Frankie Buffer, and he does the fucking post-fight interviews. I do both. I'm a fucking renaissance.
You want to be like Perry Cale? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Good.
Nah, it's probably a really nice guy. Anyway, going on to calling people out. No. You wanted the floor. I actually wanted Cam on this episode because he obviously had a very heartfelt and passionate Facebook post just about being a promoter and the shit he has to deal with that I don't think anyone else notices. And you guys haven't told me about it yet, but apparently it's...
You were off swanning it on radio in Melbourne.
Apparently it's been quite
fucking stalking
hectic.
Hamish Blake. Is that his name?
Yeah. Well, once, 2 years ago, I couldn't even get into that building. Now they're fucking right up there. It's called progress.
Yeah. Keep on going, mate. Keep on trucking forward. Keep on pushing that boulder up the hill.
Yeah, what's happening? We got guys pulling out of fights, or what's the go?
Yeah, so I'm not on Facebook, thankfully, so I don't have to fucking endure these.
Plug it every fucking week, though. If you want, you can still message Ben Vickers if you want to fight.
Messenger is active.
Yeah, but not
super active.
He doesn't like posting what's on his mind.
No, I don't believe in internet warriorship. It's not something that I'm a fan of. But having said that, yes, the pullout. So the last Gold Coast show, 2 weeks out, we had 19 fights matched. I think we ran with 10 fights in the end. And then this show we had 12 or 13 fights matched with 10 days to go. I think we're running with 9 fights now. So I think total for the last 2 shows, Cam added up was like 30 pullouts. 30 pullouts.
That's crazy.
Now, what people these days, and I say these days sound like a right old bastard, but the new breed of fighter, it's all about social media. this isn't for everybody, but there's a lot of fighters out there. They go to the gym, they tell all their friends they're having a fight, they make a big song and dance about it, they take photos of them in the fucking cage, blah, 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 and then fight week or 2 weeks out, they go like, fuck, I'm just about to be locked in a cage with another human being. I haven't trained hard enough. I've got a sniffle. I'm fucking... My toes sore, my fucking hands sore, my fucking face is sore, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. And then it's not a decision, and this isn't for everybody, but I think it's a decision people take so lightly. I think it's a reflection, and I'm not going to go into it fully, of society these days, that it's so easy to quit. There's no ramifications for quitting. There's no consequences for quitting. There's no consequences for pulling out of a fight. Especially at amateur level where it's not your job, so you're not counting on the money and the ticket sales and...
Yeah, you guys do rely a lot on amateurs, so you deal with those. Yeah,
and I think what people need to realise is the bigger picture of your pullout. So say, for example, Mitch has got a fight lined up a week before, he has got a paper cut on his finger, that's what he was moaning about the other week.
Hard though.
And he decides that he doesn't want to fight anymore. Bear in mind now, your opponent, this is the first one you're affecting, your opponent has been training harder, probably harder than you. So if you're tired, he's doubly fucking tired. It's the reason I say harder than you is because you're pulling out, he's not. So there's something in there that you're not confident that this fight's going to go your way. All right, so first of all, he's not been eating. He's not been spending time with his friends and family. He or she has not been living the life of a normal person. They've been dedicated to get into the cage. Okay, I'm going to use my fighter in this instance as an example. Brody Payno was due to fight Tim Schultz. Now, completely not Tim Schultz's fault. He tore his knee somehow. He had an MRI. There's no arguing with that, and there's no question about his legitimate reason. So that's not the point here. But Brody, I've watched Brody train for the last, he trains all the time, but for the last 6 weeks I've watched him tighten everything up. You know, I have to enjoy his Snapchats of his fucking spinach and salmon evening meal. You know, that's all he's eating. He's not out partying. He's 21 years old. He's not out living the dream. He's working as a plumber, digging holes all fucking day as a plumber's apprentice. Then he's in the gym for fucking 2-3 hours every night. He's doing his training in the morning. He's doing his cardio in the morning. You know, he's lived that life, and now he doesn't have a fight. And it was the week of the fight.
It's been pulled out 2 or 3 times.
So
trying to find him.
Tim pulled out with a torn ACL or something like that. Fair, no problem with that at all. That's the game. That's what happens. You know, last training session, I feel for Tim as well because he's obviously trained hard. So then there was a chance of a match, a featherweight match, which was on and then off and then on and then off. So Brody was prepared. He was supposed to be fighting at 70. He was prepared to go to 68. Then someone pulled out at welter. So Brody was prepared to take that fight as well. But that never happened. Now, I'm not blaming the two guys either that didn't take the fights in because their fighters pulled out. But the people that are pulling out of these fights are causing snowball effect. And that's just one person. So that's just their opponent. Right? Their opponents put everything on hold. They've spent money, you know, having physio, having massages, doing cryotherapy, having personal training sessions. You know, all this stuff that they put in as an amateur, they're not getting rewarded for by having the fight that they're looking for at the end.
And it probably plays on them too, like, especially a guy like Brody who, he's had fights fall through more than he's had fights type thing. So it's like...
Just this week.
He's sort of confident, like he's training for his next fight, but he's probably thinking, fuck, is it even going to happen?
Well, I'm lucky with Brody in that he's switched on and he's got a good head on his shoulders and he's a sensible young man that it's not going to discourage him forever from fighting. But I could imagine, and I can understand it if it did, you know? Because he's sacrificing so much to get... He wants to fight at the end of it. And to not get that reward as an amateur is huge. And then let's talk about everyone else that it affects. So your coach, you're fighting, and this is how it works for me anyway. I can't speak for other coaches, but Brody was the only one fighting on that show, so he's getting a lot of my attention. which means the rest of the class, although they're still getting attention, they're not getting as much. And we're not doing the development side of things as much because we're in a fight camp for Brody. So we're drilling what he already knows, sharpening the tools he already has, not adding too many strings to that bow in the 6 weeks, because we're just trying to consolidate what he's already got and make him really good at that, as opposed to trying to change his game or add things that, you know, in 6 weeks he might not. In a fight, you want things to be subconscious. So he wants to just do them without thinking about them. New moves, he might not get that in time. So we really focus on his game, what he's good at, sharpening that up, and then getting the fitness and sparring the sharpness in. So everyone else is carrying him along and fulfilling his timetable. So now the development of some of my other fighters has suffered because we were working on Brody, and now Brody's got no reward. You know, when you get a win at the end of that, or he gets a good scrap, fight of the night, whatever, you don't mind that so much. But we could have spent the last 3 or 4 weeks doing some development, like adding more strings to the guys' bows as opposed to being in fight camp. Because once we're in fight camp, everyone's in fight camp. We all go together. So there's that. So from a coaching side of things, you know, there's the time. So now my time's been wasted. My fighters' times have been wasted. So there's another group of people that are affected by it. Then you've got fans who have bought tickets off the other guy, bought tickets off of you, who are excited to come and see you fight. They've spent their money, they've planned the time, you know, might have got babysitters, but you might think I'm going too in depth, but this is all that, for me, if I wanted to go to a fight show with the missus to support we've got to get a babysitter now. We booked that in advance. We might have had other things to do on that night that we've cancelled that we now can't do because we were looking forward to seeing our friend fight, who now can't fight. Do
you get any refunds? Like, do people ever, if their guy's not fighting and they're the one?
If we haven't collected the ticket money yet, then they're welcome to bring the tickets back. You know, if they're not going to fight, then their friends aren't going to come to the show. Then, and that brings us on to the big one for me, is the promotion. You know, I've said this a million times. Me and Cam we're a blue collar. Is that the right word? Blue collar promotion.
Yeah.
So we're hands on. We're in the trenches. We're not in the fortunate position of being super wealthy people where we can just afford to throw money away. So when you pull out of a fight, despite affecting all those people, you're affecting the promotion. If the promotion goes away, the platform for people to compete, to get to the level that they want to get to in the sport, is going to go away. All right. Me and Cam have made a pact that we will never cancel a show. This show may end up financially detrimental to both Cam and I. However, we had a discussion earlier in the week of whether to cancel the show. Because it doesn't make any business sense to run a show where we're going to lose money. But we feel we owe it to the fighters that have bothered their ass to do all their stuff right and to make it to the octagon, to put the show on. Because we do it for the love of the sport. Okay, so think about everybody else. That's why I'm here. To save money, I didn't travel. Okay, I got my flight money back, my accommodation money back, my car hire money back, and it took a bit of a financial weight off of the show. So for all the people out there thinking everyone's got Dana White money who promotes a fight show, there are very few promoters in this country making bank. In fact, a lot of promoters are putting their own money, investing their own money into this thing.
Also, Dana White didn't have Dana White money when he was starting it, type thing, and that's where everyone is right now.
I mean, unfortunately for me, or fortunately for me, sometimes I'm backstage, and people don't even realise I promote the show as well, because I've got fighters backstage, and I hear the talk, we don't get paid enough, blah, 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 this and that from fighters. But what fighters need to understand is we've got to keep the purses at a level that we can afford to keep doing the shows. If we pay too much money to people and the shows go away, then you're going to get no money. Then you're going to get no chance to build your record. Then you're going to get no chance to build your reputation and show people your skills that you do at the moment. So it's very offensive to me to hear people say, you don't give us enough money, I bet you're making fucking fortunes. Trust me, we are not making fucking fortunes. Okay, we never have. And So yes, a lot of the times the main event fighter's making more from that show than I am.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Of late. So the repercussions are huge to the promotion. Now, you fuck the promotion that many times, what's the point where me and Cam will say, well, look, we can't afford to do this anymore.
Yeah.
We're giving all our fucking money away and we're not getting anything. Apart from we love fights and we love putting on good fights, you know, there's going to come a point where we go, is it worth it, mate? Like the stress, like we're up till all hours of the fucking night, pulling our hair out, trying to rematch fighters, you know.
And it's essentially a hobby. Like, you guys both, you run the gym, he's working to like, if the show runs smoothly, it's still fucking hard work.
It's hard work.
So when it's fucking, guys are pulling out, and that's like anything, go organise a sparring session with like 10 guys or 20 guys. See how fucking hard that is.
See how many turn up on the day.
Try and organise a sparring session on when there's no class and it's just you and a couple guys and you try and meet up somewhere. It will fucking never happen. Now imagine that's an event and then you've got all people coming, and that's essentially what you guys have to do. And if Eternal goes, I mean, don't get me wrong, you guys fucking pay me and I love Eternal, but if Eternal goes, well, there's like fucking 2 other promotions. Well, there's like, realistically, once one goes, we're all fucked.
And put it this way, Eternal's never going to go, all right?
Exactly.
We're doing what we're doing and we're moving forward. Okay, we've had a bit of a bad run on the Gold Coast, but, you know, the Eternal's not going anywhere. The Eternal lives on, and that's not the point of this conversation. I mean, we're nowhere near ready for this to be the end of Eternal. In fact, we've had a few exciting discussions this week with a few different people, and the next couple of Eternals, you know, you're going to see a big change. And
but the same ring announcer.
Well, that was what I was going to tell you. I was going to do it off air. So I was embarrassed. I'm going to get my daughter to ring announce because she speaks better fucking English than you.
That's probably... Does she have a Cockney accent? Yeah.
No, she's kind of gibberish. It's like gibberish at the moment. So you
That's
can't
same
really
as
tell.
you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, on a serious note, right? If you accept a fight, you're entering into an agreement with a fucking bunch of different people. The promotion, the fighter. There's so many people you affect. So just think about it. Do you really want to fucking do it? Before you say yes, do you really want to fucking do it? Are you going to show up? Because I guarantee you, 90% of people on that card are going to walk into the cage with an injury of some description.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're training properly and hard enough, there's going to be little niggles here and there. Okay, so these are the expectations that you should have of yourself. Okay, I've signed for a fight. I'm going to be sore. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to be fed up. It's going to be miserable. I'm going to get my ass kicked in training. These are all the things that are going to happen. It's not the fucking Hollywood superstar fucking movie that you think it is. Okay? It's hard work. But when that cage door shuts, if you've done all that hard work, you'll be fine. And you'll enjoy yourself. And as someone that has felt that adrenaline rush, once you've done that once, I retired in 2007. And I still think about fighting to this day because there's nothing else in the world for me that can replicate standing across the cage from another human being, looking at them thinking they've trained, we're equally fucking skilled, now we're going to find out who's the better man.
Man, I've been in that ring as just the fucking ring announcer, and I'm like, holy, and it trumps everything I've ever done in my life, like stand up, any of that shit, biggest crowd, it doesn't matter. So I can't imagine what those fighters are going through, but...
and you know what? Once you touch gloves and take that first punch, you don't fucking remember any of it anyway. The adrenaline fucking kicks in. You don't feel the fucking shots as hard as you do in training. You know, everything is different. And I tell you, when you finish, whether your hand's raised or you lose or it's a draw or, you know, or you win by knockout or you win by submission or you get knocked out or you get submitted, that feeling will stay with you forever. And 90% of the time, you'll want to replicate it. I understand it's not for some people, but the rush, like, I've done bungee jumping, I've done extreme sports, and nothing compares with fighting another human being.
I wonder if it is like what you said, like you're a couple of weeks out and guys go, oh fuck, I don't know if I want to do this because you're scared. And rightfully you should be a bit fearful. I mean, you're about to fight another human, but it's like a lot of the times you're shit scared and you should try and, like, you're gonna want to run away from any stand-up gig I've ever done. I wanted to run, and that's just standing on stage. Like, I've wanted to run. but you stay, and you do it,
And that's
you finish.
That's what's rewarding about
And
it.
that's the thing, is you go, holy fucking shit. The only thing I look at and go that I think can replicate that is a fight. And that's why one day it will happen. I will have one. Just to be like, fuck yeah. But
shit.
That's the thing. Hey, just get ready. Might be you.
I'm ready, mate.
Or any other ring announcer out there. Yeah, but that's... so the injuries that people are pulling out, that's kind of what I wanted to get to, is... without obviously naming names and naming injuries, are they things that you guys have deemed not, worthy, or what's the go?
It depends. Like, you got to go case by case, and some are worthy, and some aren't. To get a doctor's note that says it was like a school note, so and so's excused from gym for the next week. Well, fuck me. Come on. I can only talk from my experience, but Ryan Gray actually pulled out on the night of a fight.
Food poisoning.
He had food poisoning, and actually one of the guys that we had breakfast with that morning also had food poisoning. So it must have been something they ate in the morning. But the lengths he went to get to that fight, like, we were in a doctor's surgery 2 hours before he was due to fight, trying to have an anti-nausea injection, so that he could stem the nausea enough to get into the fight. I mean, he'd weighed in, he'd done everything, he was at the venue, he was ready to go. And in the end, we did some pads in the car park. I didn't want anyone to see him, and he'd throw a couple of punches and go and dry reach over, and I was like, look, we just can't do it. And it is a hard call to make. Like, he was prepared. He would, if I'd have said, Ryan, you're fighting, he would have fought.
And he will. If you pull out, you're probably going to cop shit anyway at the start, right? But Ryan turned around, and I think, was it the next event? Was the next
reign?
So
luckily we had an event 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later.
Took the fight straight like that. That there is obviously you're pulling out. Everyone's going to be upset, regardless whether it's torn ACL or it's you got a sore toe. Either people are going to be annoyed that you've pulled out, right? But to want to jump straight back in there and kind of almost make up for it is what makes you go, oh, okay, this guy was legit. Cam said something about, in his lovely rant, something about commission suspends you for 60 days?
Yeah, so MMAA, any MMAA show, so this is to stop people going, I was going to fight on that show, but they've offered me a better deal on this show, or a better opponent, so I'm going to pull out of that one and fight on this one 2 weeks later or whatever. So MMAA have imposed a 60-day suspension for medical pullouts. So therefore, if you pull out of a show for a medical reason, you'll be suspended there for any MMAA show for 60 days. So that puts you out of the picture for the next 2 months.
And that's the sole reason so you don't...
Well, one is for your health. If you've been pulled out for some reason, you need time to recover that reason. So if it's a legitimate injury, not that you'd be looking to fight if you had a legitimate injury. But yes, it is to stop people going, I'm going to go from this promotion to this promotion because I like what they're offering me a little bit better.
This is what I've always wanted to know. If you're playing basketball and you've got an injury, it's just based off the physio, and the coach kind of goes, oh, okay, you can get, how you feel, you can get in there. Obviously with MMA, they take a little bit more, if it's something to do with your brain or something to do with your heart, they can really step in there. But at what point can they stop you from fighting? Is it legitimate injury? Could you fight with a tear in your quad, or you know what I mean? Is there something?
To be honest, with the medicals that the fighters have here, the doctors probably wouldn't know if they had a little tear in a muscle, or they're not in-depth UFC, MRIs, brain scans, that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty standard medical. You could walk into the doctor's office, you'd sit there, answer a few questions, get your blood pressure taken. He might, if he's thorough, check your skeletal system, give you a rub down if you like, to see that there's not any signs of aches and pains or bruising, but other than that, it's generally, for me, it's a duty of care of mine as a coach that if I think your injury is severe enough, say you got knocked out in training, it's up to me to then go, you shouldn't be fighting because you need to rest your head, and that's because I care about you, that I'm going to pull you out of the fight for that reason. Or if I know you've done your ligaments in your ankle but you're sort of still convinced that, and I think it's going to be detrimental to your long-term health, then I'll pull you out of the fight. So it's the duty of care of me, because I'm there and I'm seeing the injuries happen, and I'm aware of all these little injuries that go on, and my guys tell me, oh, I did this the other day, I did that the other day. and we, what we might do is trial run it and give you a 3-round spar and see how you pull up. And see if I can notice a massive decrease in your ability to perform, then it might be in my job to say that's enough. Like,
I guess no one knows, and I mean this is from any sport. No one knows your body more than you. Like any doctor can tell you something, but at the end of the day, you know you.
Especially fighters, guys that train and guys that understand how their body feels, and they know what an ache and pain is, and they know what an injury is.
Yeah.
They know the difference between being sore and being hurt. There's a big difference.
And that, I mean,
and I still think there's fighters that wouldn't tell me.
And that's the thing. Like, look, that's great. Like, I love that. Obviously, guys want to continue to fight, and obviously, for the promotion, it's good for the promotion. But also, there's probably another side to that coin where guys probably are legitimately hurt, and they've just got that personality that goes, "I want to fucking fight." And it could hurt their career in the long run, like taking these fights. But like I said, it's you knowing your body.
I think it's down to the coach to know the performance. You might not know how their body's feeling, but I can definitely tell by watching you train. Like sometimes I'll say to guys, have a couple of days off. Not because they're injured, but just because I can tell they're so tired and worn down. So just do your own training, go for a run for the next couple of days, but give your body a little break.
And everyone's got a guy in their gym that's like that, where it's like he'll do fucking 5 rounds and then run 15 Ks and then come back and train 5 rounds, and it's just
there's the lunatics everywhere. So it's it's the fine line between motivating people to do a little bit more and then telling those ones that are crazy to pull it in a little bit and have a couple of rest the weekend or whatever.
The other thing is, I think it's like you said, it's 2017. 2007 was your last fight. MMA was just getting big to the public around 2005. That's when it was starting to really sort of branch out. The numbers of people that are doing it, watching it, participating, training have probably 1,000% increased. So you've got the pool of, you're looking at guys across the room that 10 years ago wouldn't have been a fighter. They wouldn't have taken a fight. There's no way they would have. But now there's a lot more people doing it. So like you said, you're not getting the best fighters anymore. You're just getting guys that want to be a fighter.
Yes, 100%. And I had a conversation with a mate of mine who's Shane Williams, who's an old school dude. Just yesterday we were talking. And we were like...
Spinning Shane or boxing Shane?
Spinning.
Spinning Shane.
Handstand Shane.
Handstand Shane.
Yoga Shane. We had a conversation, like, because we both trained back in the day when it was pretty old school, and if we weren't vomiting, we weren't training hard enough. And I don't believe that's the right way to train now, just to clarify. But that was how it was back then. There was not really the science behind it that the general person had. Maybe the top level guys might have had that. But it was training. I would have to be told not to train. And now guys are saying, do I need to do this training session? Do I need to do that training session? If you're asking me those fucking questions, you're in the wrong job.
And it's almost like a schedule now. Like it's like, I've got to do this many sessions and then do this and then do it. Like it's like they're reading a program. Where like you said, back in the day, it was legit just like you go until you throw up. And there's a happy medium, obviously, to...
Plus, you look at the facility out the back. I trained in a fucking railway arch, which we got electrocuted in because the fucking PowerPoints were knocked off the walls, and if you had wet shorts on and went near it, you'd get zapped. There was fucking a dead rat underneath the mat that fucking stank, but we couldn't get it because it was right in the middle. And we didn't have a black belt in this. We had one coach for everything.
Yeah,
now the guys have got a black belt in jiu-jitsu to train them. They've got specific Thai boxing coaches, specific strength and conditioning coaches, specific boxing coaches. They've got 4 or 5 different coaches. We were lucky, and they've got a plethora of talent. They've got brown belts, purple belts, good blue belts on the mats with them all the time. Whereas we didn't have any. I think we had one blue belt when I was training, and we thought he was a fucking god, because people just weren't doing. So everything, the fighters now, I think back then we may have had tougher, sort of more old school fighters, but now the talent and the skill level is through the fucking roof. Like, our skill level back then wouldn't stand with the skill level now, but the mental toughness and the physical toughness might have just got us to that, to the level.
I think like back then you had 10 guys, 5 guys were legit fighters. Now you have 100 guys, but 10 guys are legit fighters. So it's like there's just a bigger sort of thing.
All right. Did I do that?
Love the.
Booker.
Hey, we were just fucking talking about you.
Oh,
How are you,
Shane,
sir?
come in.
Spinning Shane Williams just walking in.
gents.
We were just talking about modern fighters compared to that conversation we had yesterday.
Oh, mate, don't get me started. You don't have time.
Shane's of the old school. Look at him.
I am of the old school. I believe in the old traditions, you know.
Training hard.
Training hard, listen to your coach, put your faith in them, turn up day in, day out.
I always say that there's guys that aren't fighting anymore that would kill most fighters, and you are one of them.
There's a jacket, you
We're live, mate. You're live. You're on
I'll
air.
let you go.
Hey, you're fucking royalty. You can do whatever you want.
So there we go. Shane Williams in the building.
Boom. Nice to meet you.
Spinning Shane.
Spinning Shane.
Look at that.
Oh, he's dropped a sock.
Oh, what is that, an ankle sock?
So there we go.
That's how Uncensored works. That couldn't have fucking worked any better.
As he lives and breathes. We were just talking about him. And
That's also another reason why you probably shouldn't talk shit about too many people, because they'll
walk through the door. Then you got to throw down.
How good would that have been? Like, Shane, I don't think he's that good. Just
start smashing the place. Smashing the place.
Shane does remind me of, like, I mean, I would have no idea what his record is, but he was the type of guys back at FFC, good old Fitness and Fight Centre. I'm going to plug them because they're no longer around. Back in, I think it was 2010, I walked in there and there was like maybe 8 of those jigsaw mats that you buy from Kmart.
Yeah.
That was the grappling. There was the cage panel. And it was like, it wasn't a cage like with the rubber. It was like a chain link fucking fence.
Like a fence they've nicked from a school or something.
And it was stuck back on with cable ties to the top of the pole. So every time you got like taken down or against it, you would have to not avoid the punches, but avoid the sharp cable tie because they were clipped as well. So it made it even worse.
That's fucking great.
But that's all those guys that fought out of there are either still fighting now, made it to the UFC like Steve, or stopped fighting but are fucking still well respected.
Yeah.
Where these days, and it's not to bag on any other fighter at all, because they're all obviously doing really good, but there's so many gyms now that are so clean and so you can kind of do the MMA class. Where back then there was no MMA class.
for fitness, if you like.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, how many girls have you or guys have you seen that are like, oh, I'm doing the Muay Thai class for fitness. I love doing Muay Thai. I'm like,
oh, great, and you know what? Good.
Yeah.
My business of opening the gym was always to bring the sport to the masses, you know, and help people use it as a tool to get themselves fit, because it's more exciting, more interesting, and more fulfilling than being in a gym doing a program some fucking 2 bob personal trainers made up for you. You know, you're held accountable. You've got partners, you've got friends that you train with every time you come in. Now, the byproduct of that has been that we've got some talented fighters come through the doors, and I've been able to set up a fight team that's been successful. But this business wouldn't run with the fight team alone. So I understand the fact that, you know, I'm kind of getting what I asked for, because I brought the sport to the masses. Whereas someone like Steve, he wanted to keep his gym as a fighter's gym. So none of that shit would be tolerated. And you see the guys that come out of Kick-Ass, there's very few of them that are namby-pamby, you know, like fitness MMA guys.
And that's the thing too, like.
But then you look at Steve's bank balance, probably reflects that.
That's the other thing, and that's what sucks, because you want to keep the fighters, and obviously it helps with promotion having guys that know how to be professional fighters. They might not be professional fighters yet, but how to act accordingly, like you said, not pulling out of fights, things like that.
Correct.
Now, up at Kick-Ass, they fucking train hard, and they train through
pull out
injuries.
Fights too.
Yeah, because of injuries.
Yeah.
But like that sort of stuff, and I sometimes think like it should take a little step back and welcome a little bit more, you know, like some female fitness classes or some male just fitness.
But now
boxing.
he's going to do that, because he's got the gym and now he's got the more sort of fitness. So now he's got the best of both worlds, and you know, I know Steve will keep it legit and genuine in his MMA classes, but he's going to start understanding the other side of the business of you've got to keep everybody happy, and there's people there that are never going to have a fight in their life, never going to spar in their life, never want to do that.
Yeah.
And they're the people that are going to pay his bills, that enable him to keep the fight team going.
And that's what I've been really thankful of, is being around a guy like Steve. Is I know if I want to fight, that's what it takes. It's not, there's some gyms where you can get confused into thinking like, oh, you're ready, and you're not. But like you said, you need the masses. For the crowd, for the interest, for the gym to keep going. And the hobby, the fun bit is you training fighters. The business, it's you dealing with everyone else. And that's why I think people don't get about starting up gyms.
But I'm lucky now. I'm in a position where I don't really teach the beginners anymore. So I get to do what I love, which is working with fighters and athletes. And
how long did that take you?
Probably 10 years.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
And that's why I think people don't get starting any sort of gym or even being a fucking 2-bob personal trainer. I don't even know how much a bob is, but...
It's like a dollar. Let's call it a dollar.
But like anything like that, everyone thinks like the fun bit is training the guy that's a professional athlete. That's literally, you do that shit for free.
Yes.
The other bit is dealing with the housewife or the house husband. I don't know, I'll be completely correct there. Whatever it is, that's your money. And that's what I think people don't get. And it's the same with, like you said, being a professional fighter. The fucking easy bit is the actual fight. The other shit, the dieting.
Absolutely.
Not even the training, the stretching.
I say the fight is the reward for all the hard work you put into it, because you get to go in there and throw bones at people, and that's what you're in this.
But that's what they do with, like, I mean, musicians, stand-up. The audience is your reward. Like, getting, like, because you do open mic nights, doesn't matter how big you are, how big a comedian you are, you always do open mic nights. You don't get paid for those. You do 5 minutes to an audience of 60 or 80 or 100. That's your fucking reward. Because otherwise, how are you going to organise 60 or 80 or 100 people? Fighting, I mean, you couldn't put on an intra-club and get fucking thousands of people without putting in the effort. Like, you've got your...
Well, in WA, if it's an inter-club, you're not allowed to advertise it to the masses. So that's why we're not talking about our inter-club that's happening next Sunday. Because you're not allowed to be seen to be... It's an inter-club, it's not a money-making enterprise. It's a place where guys can develop. And it is a reward to go out. And that's how you should view it. So go and bring this conversation right back to where it started from. Being selected to fight on a fight show and being given the opportunity to do what you love in front of thousands of people is a fucking reward, and it's a privilege. And treat it like that. When you sign that fucking dotted line, or even if you don't sign a contract, when you reply to that message on by email or by Facebook Messenger that says, yes, I'm committed to this fight, fucking follow through. Unless your leg's falling off or your fucking head's broken or something like that. Fucking follow through. Do what you have said you're going to fucking do, and be a fucking man or woman and get in there and fucking face your demons.
And if your leg is broken, fucking tell me as a ring announcer, and I'll make sure everyone knows.
He's fine with a broken leg.
Mate, I'll fucking
See how I copied your voice?
That was me.
Fighting with a broken leg.
But I had some guy after the show come up to me. He was drunk, shit-faced drunk. And he's like, oh man, he's like, you were great. He's like, you were like, fighting. And I was like, oh, thanks, bro. Thanks.
He replicated it perfectly. Pissed out his head.
Bang on. I lose my voice weeks after that. That's what I go through, guys.
I'm going to stop you there before you start with your sob story, right? Can we get Jake Hansen on the phone? Because I have to train a fighter at 11:30. It's now 12 minutes past 11.
Okay.
And Jake will waffle.
Well, I've seen you train. You just give him a fucking circuit, make him shadow box for 10 rounds. You know, it's all about me watching what they do and sitting down drinking coffee. Don't lie, you've done that at least once, haven't you?
Never. Professional integrity is through the roof.
Giving him a call now. Jake Hansen, you want to give a little rundown of Jake?
Thanks, cunt.
He's a commentator, one of our commentators, right?
He commentates for Eternal. He's had an MMA fight, single solitary MMA loss. Okay, so he's worse MMA fight than you.
I'm undefeated.
Yeah.
Still.
I think we should start off with that.
Oh, the call ended.
He doesn't want to talk to you.
Motherfucker.
He's full of his own self-importance. He's probably pressed the wrong button.
That's true too. Maybe he's like, I'll call you. You don't call me.
Yeah.
I call you.
I do the calling around here.
Yeah.
I call the shots.
We'll give him another go.
But no, Jake knows knows the sport, and he knows Queensland MMA like the back of his hand.
Jake, how are ya?
Good, mate. What's going on?
Hey, listen.
Ben's here too.
Quickly, don't ever fucking hang up on us again.
I was screening you.
Where are you? Out and about, mate?
Yeah, I'm walking back from uni, and I am sick as a fucking dog. I can't wait to commentate with a fucking strepsil in my mouth.
It's better than what you normally have in your mouth, mate.
They're equally as salty as each other.
Oh, Jay, obviously a big fan of yours.
Mitchell actually has a better MMA record than you, mate.
I've got a 100% loss record.
Yeah, I'm undefeated.
My fight camp record's pretty fucking stellar though. Fight camps for one fight, one loss.
Oh, we were just fucking talking about that.
Mate, that has been very much the subject of today's fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Is people not doing what they fucking said they would do 6 weeks ago and turning up for fights. And talking about the wider ramifications of it. So what it means to you as their opponent who's now not got a fight, what it means to your friends and family who are going to come and watch you fight, what it means to the promoter, what it means to the coach.
Yeah.
Give us your take on it.
Man, that fight that I ended up having on Eternal, like Cam was fucking awesome about setting me up with a fight and whatnot. I think I had 4 opponents, man. So I'm so filthy on it, dude. Like from first-hand experience, to the point where I missed the birth of my niece. So my brother and my dad were dirty on me because I was in fight camp, man, and I lost 15 kilos or something like that to get to lightweight, which I'll never do again. only to have my opponent change 4 times, and then the dude who finally stepped up was way out of my skill range, and it's just like, you know what, fuck it. Broke my foot in the first. Trying to take him on, but fucking he rose to the challenge, so I thought I'd put all this work in, lost all this fucking weight with him. The least I could do is punch him in the fucking head.
Good for you, mate.
I reckon when it comes to that, there should be like a rule, like if you pull out, whether it's injury or not, if you pull out maybe a week before the fight, it's a loss on your record. Like it just, because if you ask me to fight after school and I don't show up, the school says you win. Like there should be something there.
Yeah, I reckon. Look, you should always pull out, just don't do it with a fight.
I'm not a fan of that. I disagree, mate.
Ben didn't get that memo. What was I going to say? The only thing that it does help is probably me and you on fight night, because we get paid to do less. We get paid the same amount.
Yeah, I still consider myself senior in most ways and things. I'll be the senior commentator on Eternal if that's all right by you.
Oh, it's 100%. They made me just do anything else. I think I had to fucking sweep up stuff and be the door girl.
He's definitely not a commentator.
Yeah,
so
you're an executive vice junior commentator.
I am ringing out. Do I have to post fight this one? Yeah, I have to post fight. I've do it. Man, they just make you do it.
Chief cook and bottle washer.
Yeah, you know what it's like. You know what it's like working for the old sleigh driver.
So, bros, you're dropping out. You're pulling out. You're pulling out of this phone call.
It's your fucking mic, Ben. I swear to God.
It's because you're wandering around. Fucking stand still in a good signal area. You'll be fine.
I just found Wi-Fi, so I'm going to hang here for the next 45 while I check my emails and pretend to talk to you.
So tell us what you're looking forward to on Eternal Reign Supreme this weekend.
Oh, man. Even though it is an Eternal card, I like it is a detachment from the usual Eternal, especially because it's not a Reign card, it's Eternal's take on Reign heading up to the Mansfield. Even the vibe and whatnot, we all let our fucking hair down, do you know what I mean? I go full fucking spastic on the commentary. I'm sure you know some of the calls I pull out. I try to pull my head in with Eternal, but I'm up there, man.
Still my favourite was that's just gravy on the chips on that
Brother,
on that fucking.
I'll try and relate anything to my two loves, and I'll combine the two of them to food and
fight,
punching on.
I think someone got knocked out and then they got hit an extra shot on the ground, and that's not gravy on the chips is worthy of a UFC fucking broadcast item.
Yeah, mate, you can fill up on chips, but how much better is it when you just got that gravy just drizzled over the top?
So talk me through the card though. Like who are you looking forward to? Who stands out for you on that card? Give me 3 fights.
Two big, no offense to the fellas, the top of the card. Like Darcy's a beast. Izzy's an absolute freak with his takedowns. He's a bulldozer who drives forward. Diego and Justin, that's going to, in my opinion, possibly fight of the night. But just the young chicks, man. Like, have you ever seen the amateurs, let alone amateur dudes who've got something to prove? There's something about amateur chicks that just come in and bang, man. It's going to be bullshit.
Yeah, I did say last week, I think girls fight with a point to prove because...
They do, man. They do. Like, it's almost like people count them out just on the gender factor before they even step into the cage. Like, it's 2017. We're very progressive at Eternal. Let's let these chicks punch on.
I'm pumped to see Casey O'Neill fight as well.
Yeah, man. Casey's got I respect him. He's totally impartial, man. He's never given Casey a good fight, but he's given her fights that they're totally fights that are winnable for her and stuff like that. And she's a beast in the gym, and she never gives up. And she's had a bit of a bad run, but like if only people could see the Casey in the gym that we know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not like maybe the Casey that's had a bad run of fights. People would have a completely different idea about it, man. She's like her jits is she puts so much time in to get a blue belt, and her jits is frustrating, man. Do you know what I mean?
We'll check Cam on the
just with these
commentator.
fights, she doesn't get to like display it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely devastated that I'm not there for this one. I know you're devastated you don't get to see my pretty little face, but you know, we had to make a business decision, and that means I'm stuck in Perth with Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, I will miss you, mate.
But, you know, October, we had Brentin on the phone before, and we announced Brentin Callum Potter for October. What do you think of that?
Oh, fucking stop it. that made my day. That's gravy on the chips, brother.
That is gravy on the chips, for sure. And how do you see that one going? Like, for me...
oh, man. First impressions? Brenton's... Oh, man, Brenton's like a storm. And then Callum, in a lot of ways, he's so composed and stuff like that. Like, it's almost going to be who gets off first sort of thing. But, like...
Callum's last two fights.
Because I'm predisposed to him. He's rangy and I can relate to it. He sticks on the outside and he's super composed. And Brenton's just a motherfucker, dude. Like, how do you explain him in one word? He's just bad news.
But Callum's last two fights, he's come through severe adversity to get a win, and it's been me. Is there a jiu-jitsu practitioner in MMA in Australia at the moment?
Besides Mitch?
Besides Mitch. No, let's get fucking serious.
Mate, I had a fucking flying armbar victory in my first ever white belt comp. Alright, that is fucking myth of legend.
No, seriously, Callum Potter's MMA, jiu-jitsu MMA. Fucking, let's talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's easily transferable, like his grappling skills and whatnot, in an MMA. And it's no joke. He doesn't stall. I've never seen him stall in a fight. He's constantly, even from the guard, he's throwing up subs. He's throwing like sweeps up or whatnot to create a scramble to get back his feet. He's no slouch at all, man. And I don't know. Like between the two of them, between Callum Potter and Brentin, it's almost like the two perfect guys to almost beat each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like the unstoppable object with
Well, and
however the fuck the other bit goes.
No, on the other end of the coin for Callum, he has been rocked in both his last fights, and he's shown remarkable bounce back ability. Look at that for dropping a big word into me. Do you like that one? Bounce back ability. I challenge you, Jake Anderson, to use that in your commentary this weekend.
You there? You're dropping out again, man. I've got full Wi-Fi, so I'm blaming you.
I said Callan has shown remarkable bounce back ability.
Yeah.
And then I fucking challenged you to use that word in your commentary this weekend.
Bounce back ability. I'll try and use disestablishmentarianism. I'll try and use that.
Get both of them in there.
I don't know, man. If you ask me to pick out of Brentin and Callan,
it's a hard one. It's such a good fight.
I'd have to give some serious thought about it, and I'd have to look at footage and shit like that because it is probably the premier fight in lightweight MMA in Australia, and that's no bullshit. Taking like all the Eternal, my patrons to Eternal and stuff out of it. Try and give me a better matchup than that. I can't think of one. Yeah.
And especially with the 2 wins that they've had their last 2 fights, you know.
Yeah.
Both fighters are coming off beating good guys, you know.
Yeah, like that kick from Brentin, it was actually, Greg had his back to it, so I just saw Brenton's hips just spin, and I saw Greg lay down, and Brenton's foot was in the air, so I was just like, I couldn't really say what it was. I thought it was a back kick, but it was most definitely a wheel kick. But yeah, we heard the impact in commentary because it was 2 feet away from us.
Yeah.
We were looking up as it was happening. We just heard this smack of this bone on chin, and he dropped. That was fucking unreal, man.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think commentator's curse is real?
Say again?
Do you believe in the commentator's curse? Like when Jack Della was fighting Ty and you went, I watched Jack wrestle in Nationals and next thing you know he gets taken down. Do you believe in the commentator's curse?
Mate, I wish I had that sort of fucking power over fighters. No, mate. Or fighters make their own destiny, mate. It's almost like anything I say after like a 6 or 8 week camp is just after the fact. I'm just trying to translate what I'm seeing to the wider public, man.
And is this your future in MMA? Is commentating now, or are we gonna see Jake Anderson make a comeback and get to 1-on-1?
I don't know, man. I've been bopped in the head too many times. The last time I got concussed, I was sparring someone, but I got punched in the head. I went to drive home. I got in the backseat of my car wondering where the fucking steering wheel was, and that's dead serious.
Oh shit!
Jesus Christ!
I can laugh about it now, man, but I haven't sparred in 18 months or something like that, and most of it's just from putting in work with killers and stuff like that, and me going way too hard, and then them coming back even harder on me.
Would you fight Mitchell?
Blame, but fighting, I think I offer the people of Eternal watching and the greater MMA community, I think my brain works better when it's not getting fucking rattled.
Would you fight Mitchell Tinley in a 1-on-1 cage death match?
Oh, definitely don't do that. I'm gonna fight all the ring announcers like Perry Cale and the other guys.
I'm fighting enough shit at the moment. I'm fighting diabetes without fighting Mitch.
Also, I'm undefeated, so I'm looking for more guys that are undefeated. That's all I'm.
Yeah, right. Even if I win, I'm still 1-1. I'm 50-50 at best.
Oh, that's who's the guy you commentate with?
Cristiano. Oh, he's the Super Mario to my Luigi. He's my little Italian mate. He is a brown belt under Vicente at Southside, who's like super reputable. He competes all the time. Vicente does. But Cristiano. Don't tell him I called him Christian. I keep doing it. He is a writer like myself. I have multiple streams of being a bullhead. So I commentate, I write and stuff, I help out with social media and marketing and things like that. Cristiano's a writer and he's also taught English to people. So again, he translates a lot of what's going on in MMA incredibly well, like I do, but he is on another level in terms of grappling to where I'm at.
So's Mitch, I've heard. He's a blue belt.
Yeah, but it's under Steve Kennedy. That's like a fucking black belt anywhere else.
That's like I don't know what that is, mate.
It's gravy on chips. That's what that fucking is.
Yeah, mate. You're pretty much the Steven Seagal of blue belts.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. It's totally full of shit. That's me. I actually think I could be the worst blue belt in Australia.
Oh, well, do you know how I rationalise my belt for people? I say it's the equivalent of a karate black belt, and then everyone goes, oh.
Yeah, it took me 6 years to get mine, so I just...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To get my blue, I think mine was about 5. And in that time, I dislocated my jaw, got about 5 concussions, broken my right hand 3 times, broken my left once, broke my collarbone.
You're not built for this shit, mate.
I'm not, no, dude. And I reckon it's crap. Honestly, I reckon it's crap dieting, man. And all this stupid fucking weight cut business. I used to eat so little calories, man, and my bones would be brittle, and I'd always feel like shit. So if any young fighters listening out there, fucking eat your veggies.
Eat your veggies and get your calcium in. Drink some milk.
eat your chips and gravy.
Jake, obviously, thanks for coming in and having a chat. It's way better talking to you than fucking Ben.
No, thank you for the Devils. What do they call it? The 3-way with 3 dudes, Devil's Tricycle.
I fucking never heard that.
We'll leave those to you, mate.
Yeah.
Those little innuendos there.
Yeah, I'd know.
Well, Ben's gonna go fucking train someone. It's 11:30. He keeps telling me about it. So yeah, we'll have to let you go. And
mate, enjoy the show. Knock their socks off commentarily, and We'll see you in October.
Super team. How old's he?
I have no idea.
We got some fucking young guys at Eternal.
How do you know he's young?
He sounds young. And I look at you and Cam all the time.
Fuck you. On that note,
yeah, we're fucking out of here.
I'm going to sit here and take this fucking abuse anymore.
Do we have anything you want to fucking plug? Like, do we have any sponsors or anything?
No, get the stream for tomorrow night's fights on MMA World Cup. Go to the MMA World Cup website. Fights will be streamed there. If you're in Brisbane or the Gold Coast, get down and see it. Some good fights on the card. And if you're in Perth, I'm building a fucking monster for September. So I should have some more information, some more matches locked in for that next week. I'd like to break a new sponsor and some big fights next week on the podcast. So just to keep you on tenterhooks. Don't forget to go and give us a review on iTunes. I will be giving away tickets to the Perth show in September. So get your reviews in there.
And I'll give you a free seminar on jits. Gi jiu-jitsu.
Okay, perfect. There you go. Free seminar with a comedian.
Yeah, guys, obviously, if you're on iTunes, head over to YouTube and watch us there. If you're on YouTube, head over to iTunes and download it there. Subscribe, tell your friends. We're the best fucking podcast going around because I don't know any other Australian MMA ones that are. Yeah, peace. We're fucking out here. Get your tickets. What was it last thing? Where do they fucking watch the stream?
MMA World Cup website.
MMA World Cup, fucking buy it. It's good stuff. You'll listen to Jake. And I won't be there, so you'll have a delightful time.
Even better time.
Right, we're out here. See you next week.
Eternal MMA Uncensored.